Hello, YouTube, and it's YGO, King of Scrubs here. Super happy about this weekend. Photon Hypernova Sneak Peek came and went. Absolutely phenomenal. Got so many good things from this. You can check out my pulls for the actual sneak peek on some of the videos I posted. Other big things I'm excited is the trades were absolutely phenomenal. You'll see some of them in the deck profile I'm about to give you guys. You'll see a few other things coming up. I did get most of the stuff for branded as well, so I can have a branded deck profile. I might play that once before Trap Tricks come out, so keep an eye out for that deck profile, although I don't like to post the deck profiles without playing them first. That way I can tell you guys whether they work or not. A lot of my trades, just absolutely phenomenal. Super excited about this weekend. It was great, but let's move on and get into the deck profile here. That was weird. Anyways, we're starting off pretty standard here with 3 Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. It's your best starter of the deck, does everything you want it to and then some, sets up most of your plays. You got to play 3 of it, no ifs, ands, or buts. Anybody who questions that, we might have to have a talk about you visiting a doctor, because obviously something's gone wrong with your head. We play the 1 Cobalt Eagle. Cobalt Eagle, very good. The thing I forget to use a lot, but I recommend you make sure you use a lot, is its bounce effect. You can bounce like your Sapphire Pegasus in your spell and trap card zone to use for later. It does come up. It's very helpful. Don't forget about it like I do a lot of times. We play the 1 Ruby Carbuncle. You have to play at least 1. It makes your plays go, basically. Constant recursion with some of the other cards in the deck. From there, we do play 2 Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. Great card. It's your beater of the deck. Most of the time, you're only going to have 1 after you banish the first one if you don't dead draw the brick, because, you know, we always dead draw the brick. One of the big things I got from this weekend, I am super excited about. It helps the consistency of this deck so much. Bestial Magnamut. This card can search your Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. It just does everything and then some. I used it in combo with drawing double D Shifter, and it was great. I drew double D Shifter, this, Pegasus, and Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. Absolutely phenomenal. I got to use both shifters thanks to this card, even though my opponent wasn't playing a single dark. From there, I do play Triple Ash Blossom. This card's kind of iffy. If you're working more towards a regional or YCS level deck, I'm probably going to not recommend this card. But this card is really good at my locals, as there are quite a few branded players, and this can just end some of their turns. It just does what I need it to do currently. From there, we move on to the boy, the guy you have to open, D-Shifter, or Dimensional Shifter. This guy, we have a love-hate relationship. If I don't see him, I don't get to use him. But that's a matter for another time. But that wraps it up for the monsters. It's Shifter, me and you're going to have a talk later. Just kidding. From there, we move on to the spells. We are playing 2 Crystal Bond. Opening this card alongside the next card is full combo. It gives you a starter. It gives you setup. It does everything. We use that alongside Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. If you draw both of them, full board and everything you want. Absolutely phenomenal. From there, we move on to the regular Rainbow Bridge. This card is a non-once per turn roto. What can I say? You use it, you draw multiples of it, you get to use all 3 of them. It's absolutely phenomenal. From there, we move on to Awakening of the Crystal Ultimates. This card, stupid. It gives you your recursion for Ruby Carbuncle. It gives you your searches for your Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. It sets everything up just the way you want it. From here, we move on to Pot of Prosperity. Remember, guys, budget player, trying to be as competitive as possible. Just because you're a budget player doesn't mean you can't be competitive. Extrav came in the Albaz structure deck, which helped me get most of my Albaz deck, but we'll talk about that later. This card is good substitute for Pot of Prosperity. It works. It does a lot of what you want it to. From here, we do play a card that interferes that I did get this weekend. I'm super excited to have these. Triple Tactics Talent. They were in some of my trades this weekend, and they just do so much. Absolutely love this card. In testing against Shangri-La or Kashtira, you take their Shangri-La Exceed, the level 7 that locks out zones. And a funny play I got to do was taking control of it and then tributing a D-shifter to break the zone locks. They only locked 4 of my monster zones. Phenomenal. From here, we move on to the traps, because that wraps it up for my spells. From here, we do play 2 Crystal Miracle. It's your Infernity Barrier on steroids. It does have a graveyard effect. When a Crystal Beast goes to your spell and trap card zone, you can banish it from your graveyard to place another one. It's an effect that comes up sometimes, but a lot of people forget about it more often than not. I do recommend using it when you need it. From here, we play the namesake of the deck. We play Crystal Conclave, which is what gives us Conclave control. This card does everything and then some. Summoning and damage step is amazing. Some people just can't interact with it, and it helps so much. From there, our final 3 cards are There Can Be Only One. This card just steals games. It's great against Tyr. It's great against Kashtira. I look forward to using it even more next format that's about to start, actually. We're a week away from the Photon Hypernova format, which will be a lot different, but I think this deck is still good in that format. From here, we will move on to our extra deck. This is a pretty standard deck. Pretty standard deck at this point. I've gotten a lot of cards for it. I'm pretty happy about. I'm about to show you here. There's one card that's kind of just dead in here that I always hope to banish off pot because I don't have the card to use alongside of it. Rainbow Overdragon. Yeah, Overdragon. The idea of this card, even though I can't summon it, is the fact that my opponent sees this along with Ultimate Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon Overdrive in my extra deck, and they think that since I only have one of them, they hit it rather quickly instead of hitting other cards in there, which protects the other cards in there, but then they take these useless cards out of my extra deck. As of right now, I don't have a way to summon them in the deck, but they distract the opponent from different things. From here, we do play 1 Time Thief Redoer. I've never summoned this card, but it was a good trade. I only got it this weekend, but it will hopefully come up eventually. We do play the 1 Dweller. Thank you, OTS Pack, for making this card cheap and affordable for everyone. We do play Tornado Dragon. I have made this card a couple of times. It's very good. It does a lot. From there, we do also play number 41, Baguska. Card is stupid. I don't know if they should hit this card or not. This card is a floodgate, technically. It can steal games, but it can also just be a way for an opponent to have a good back and forth. You need that one turn to be able to catch up with your opponent. So I'm on the fence on whether they should hit this card. A card that's not supposed to be in here and I've never used is Pit Knight. It has a cool effect, but I don't have anywhere I can really use it effectively. From there, we do play the 1 Lina the Wind Charmer and Lina the Light Charmer. Again, never gone into them, but I have them. I would like to get a dark, but that's a little harder to find. We have Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, and our new addition, Nightmare Unicorn. 3 cheap, easy-to-use cards, all very good, and all that come up and can do a lot. I also need an IP. I haven't found that, and I need a Gaga Cowboy. Things that we'll work on getting later. People didn't have them this weekend, but that's all right. We do play the 1 of Borolo Dragon. It's a cheap, effective Link 4 that can do a lot. It can out some untargetable things because it doesn't target when it takes. We do also play the Underworld Goddess of the Clear World. Great card. Haven't summoned it. I just put it in this weekend, and it's just not been doing anything yet. I don't use the extra deck a lot in this deck, which is nice. You can fill the extra deck with bullcrap just for banish targets. From there, we do play the Zodiac Broadbull. This is the card that's absolutely useless right now because I do not have a Zeus or a Chaka 9. If I get them, hooray. If I don't, eventually I'll switch this card out. I used the extra deck, I think, twice this weekend. I only summoned Baguska and Dweller. Oh yeah, check out my Konami sleeves, Albaz and Ecclesia. This is why I need to build the Albaz deck and show you guys, because I have all the stuff for it, including my mat being an Albaz mat. Maybe I'll win the Photon Hypernova mat and be excited to not have a store-bought mat anymore. But I didn't win the actual mat. I might win the raffle. They're supposed to announce that on Monday because one of the shops is having another sneak today. But we don't have money to keep doing that. From here, we move on to our side deck. Our side deck's pretty simple. It's still a lot of stuff out of the structure deck. I didn't trade for a ton of stuff from the side deck or for the side deck, but it's all effective stuff. We do play the Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. This card I side in regularly. It does work. It conflicts with Shifter, which I've had a problem with, so pick and choose your battles there. From here, I am siding triple Kaiju. This will probably go up to 4, as I do have one more kaiju. I do have 2 more kaijus. I might do 5, just to be able to out the Shangri-La when Kashtira actually starts seeing play. I know at least 3 people at my locals that's going to be on Kashtira. That's going to be a hard deck to play against, but we're going to work and see what we can do. We do have some back row removal with the Cosmic Cyclones. A card that was being main decked was Dark Ruler No More. It has made its way into the side deck with the new additions, being the Talents and the Magnamuts. Still a very good card, still helpful going second. I've been winning dice rolls a lot lately. This weekend people were trying hard. They wanted the mat, they wanted the extra prizing, things like that. It just wasn't my weekend. And the final 3 cards, we do play 3-dimensional barrier. This card still is amazing next format. Use it against Tier to call Fusion. Use it against Kashtira to call Exceed. From there, I don't know why I did that. From there, we move on to things I got this weekend that I was pretty happy about. Like I said, I have most of an Albaz deck here. We did get quite a bit of it. Things that I got mainly for the extra deck, I was happy to trade for the Quaquaritus? I don't know how to pronounce that. A few other things that I did manage to get. I got a Mud Dragon, which is a good generic Super Poly target if I can ever manage to find Super Polys for trade. And then I also did get a Masquerade, which will help me in the future with building a Albaz deck. I'll hopefully have a profile of that for you guys here soon. But for now, we keep playing Crystal Beast because it's been doing right for me. Here soon, like I said, hopefully we'll have the Albaz deck. I did get some more trades. I traded away a lot of my good stuff. It just helped me get everything I needed. I got Alubers, I got Disc Coliseums. The one thing I am having so much trouble finding that I really want to get before Trap Tricks comes out, we're really hoping to find some lilies, some Therion lilies. The biggest thing I think that I pulled this weekend that made me the happiest and that I traded for, you already knew I had the Therion King Regulex from what I got in packs earlier, I think last month, near the end of last month. Like I said, I did trade for the Disc Coliseums. It's nice to have these. I don't know how much I'll be using these since I can't find lilies, but if I can't ever find lilies, something I did manage to get that is very helpful. Eventually, I do need to find a Zeus, by the way, but I did get a Merrymaker, and then one of my pools this weekend was the Gigantic Champion Sargass. I would prefer lilies, but this is a nice setup for if I can't find them. Keep an eye out. My Trap Tricks deck profile, I'll do a very budgety one, and then I'll do the one with the stuff I've managed to trade for and pool, but will be a lot stronger and a lot more competitive. I think that deck is absolute fire, and I've been testing it. It works so well against Kashtira. You struggle a little more if you lose that dice roll, but you can play through Kashtira. If they lock out your back row, then you just beat them down because you can make bigger monsters than them, and they don't realize that. Something else I absolutely have to get that have not been able to find, this has just been bad luck. I cannot find Parallel Exceeds. Nobody has them. I'm hoping somebody at my local shows up. I told everybody that I need them, and it's a card you really want for the Trap Tricks deck. Other than that, You'll hopefully be seeing some of the new things I'm working on. I did get a lot of cards for Ninja. I am excited for that deck, but it's still going to be slow to build up. So we'll try for that. I pulled most of a Gishki core, but Sprite's a little out of budget, so we'll see what I can do. Eventually, I want to build a deck for you guys that's not out of a structure deck to show you guys you can build these other decks, but it just takes some time. Get your wins first. Buy Crystal Beast, buy Albaz. They're cheap, they're budgety, they can win. Buy those things. Get your wins first. Build up credit, build up winning packs, and move on from there. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below on how bad I'm doing. And I'll catch you guys next time.